For me, the number one thing to realize is that it doesn't matter which iron you use to hit what distance. The only matter is proximity to hole. As a junior, I had so many kids come up, oh, I hit an 8 iron on number 16. That means nothing. If I say I hit it to 6 feet, how far did you hit it? That's the only thing that matters. That ego element definitely plays into the irons. With the driver, hit it as long as far as you can. With the iron, hit it as close as you can to your target. Keys for me using an iron. Number one, you got to realize that you're hitting down on the ball. You're trying to compress the ball into the ground. You're trying to get friction on the face to cause spin. Spin is your friend when it comes to irons. It holds the ball true and straight. If your spin axis or the direction that the ball is spinning in is 0 and you're hitting it straight with a lot of spin or enough spin, it's going to hold it on line. If you have a shot that you kind of mishit and it floats out there with no spin, that ball is going to move around in the air just like a baseball or a football that hasn't been thrown with a tight spiral or hit with a tight spiral. So when you're thinking about that, the keys for me are making good clean contact. Make sure your grooves are clean as well. A lot of amateurs don't like to clean their clubs, which I don't understand. But compressing that ball down into the ground, having a good swing that delivers the club right at the ball, good impact, strong possession, and releases it on target. Other elements where it differs from the driver, you're trying to swing more left with an iron. That down in the swing means more left. Typically, if you see someone that's steeper, they're going to exit more left in the swing. So think about that with the driver. Driver's going more at the target, iron's going more down and left. For me, that makes a lot of sense because I like to hit a fade. I like to feel a fade on the swing. It gets my body connected to my arms. I can feel nice and compressed together here in the upper body, such that I'm swinging with the big muscles. I'm swinging with the legs. I'm swinging with the arms limited. You don't want to have a swing like this. A lot of amateurs like to use their arms. They use way too much in the arms and then they find inconsistency and they don't understand why. For me, lock these small hinges. Get them locked in. Turn around your body, swing down, through here, swing left, and try and find something consistent. Whether it's a 1-plane, 2-plane swing, doesn't matter too much. You're gonna find consistency in doing something over and over again that you can repeat. I pulled a 6 iron out here. Obviously, all irons are not created equal. You have longer clubs. I've actually got a graphite shaft in my 4 iron, so if I can compare these 4 clubs to you, we're gonna go 8, 6, 4, and a wedge. You'll notice the length of the clubs are all totally different. So pitching wedge for me, I typically go back in the stance. A 4 iron is going to be more towards the left foot. So ball position is important when you're thinking about what iron you're going to use. 8 iron's more central and the 6 iron's a little further up. So this is the position that I'm going to get into in a dress. When it comes to the swing, the shorter the iron is, the more I'm trying to hit down on it. So an easy one to remember is an 8 iron or a 7 iron, you want to have about 6 to 8. 8 iron, 8 degrees of downward swing on that to compress the ball. That's a simple way to see it on a TrackMan number or just to visualize. As it gets longer, I've got a 4 iron here. I'm going to think more swing up on it, closer to what the driver feels like. If you need to hit a lot of shots with spin and fade, you're going to hit more down on it. But it's fun to just play around with those different things while you're on the driving range, figuring out what works for you. But the same remains true. The less loft you have on the club, the more forward in the stance you want to be, the more loft you want to have, the further back to compress that golf ball and spin it. As you get to wedges, I typically go the other way with it. I try and draw the ball because I'm trying to compress it and get as much spin as I can. When you draw the ball, you're going to add a lower ball flight. It's going to be under the wind. The wind's not going to hit as much. It's going to have more spin and you're going to attack it from the inside, which makes it easier to keep the ball on the face longer. You're going to hit a little low draw, fade. Typically that ball is going to slide off the face and get off really soon. So I like to compress both irons I want to compress, but the pitching wedge and the wedges I want to compress really down into the turf and have it back in my stance.